Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. Check them out for all three so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. Okay, so for your key to the week this week, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you, and if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. Your key this week is the Fool card. New things, new places, new people, new energies, and potentially as well, the feeling that I get from this week is, for a lot of you, this is going to be about new ideas, right? This is new ideas that occur to you, maybe even new ways of working, new ways of connecting with people, maybe even new areas of connection as well. So that can be really exciting. And remember, whenever the Fool card shows up as the key to your week, it means that there is going to be an influx of new energies in all of these different areas of your life. All right, so you are being asked as well. So one of the things about the Fool card, it's about, one of the things that it's about is about inverting your reality in some way, shape or form, doing it differently to the way that you are used to doing it. For your actions and options, you've got the Four of Swords. Okay, so this is a really interesting card, right? So you've got the Fool card, which is saying take a leap, jump in, right? Do the thing. Then you've got the Four of Swords here, which is a waiting, patience and stillness card. So this week, in terms of your actions, what you do, slow and steady is going to win the race, right? So the message is here, don't be a fool. Take your time. Have some patience, right? Think about what you're going to do before you're going to do it. And this kind of reminds me of, like, you know, the tale of the praying mantis, like it always drops to one knee. They call it a praying mantis because it drops to one knee, it waits, and then it strikes, right? So this is what this kind of feels like to me. All right, so like this week, it doesn't have to be that you drop to your knees and pray, right? It's just about taking a moment, not being foolish, not going in for a knee-jerk reaction, and maybe, just maybe, you should, because you're a cardinal sign, right? You're the cardinal air sign, so you lead head first. Maybe this week you're being invited to sit still before you move forward, all right? Now, for your communications and conversations, you've got the Eight of Wands. Okay, so there is going to be a lot of information coming at you this week, including a lot of new information around new subjects, potentially from different sources or different spaces and places within your life than you've interacted with before. I love it, right? Personally, I think the Fool with the Eight of Wands is great because it's an influx of new information, new ideas, new connections. This is going to be a very busy week. And so this week I would, especially because you've got the Fool card, but you have this Four of Swords in the actions and options, the advice that I would give you here is wait, right? Collect all of the information, let it come in. I'm not saying you can't just completely stop interacting with people, but take information on board, right? Just keep taking it on board, keep analyzing, assessing it, so that when you're when you're in the right position, you can then respond to all of this, right? There's going to be an influx of new everything, and in order to really make an informed decision, you have to sift through that information. Now, when it comes to your come on, brain. When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this with the Four of Swords, there's some idea that occurs to you this week, whether it's about your subject material, maybe it's for your thesis if you're writing one, maybe it's for your dissertation if you're writing one of those, whatever the case might be, there's some idea that occurs to you, potentially through a conversation that you have, that gets you to see either the long-term sort of potential or benefit of something, or it helps you reframe how you see the subject matter that you are sort of studying and going over. And from there, I think you're going to have a lot of ideas and a lot of energy to really spur you forward. It's going to be an interesting week. I think there's going to be some really mind-expanding conversation this week. I really do. When it comes to your those of you that are employed by somebody else, this could be where you are taking your time to learn new everything, right? There are new systems being implemented. There are new ideas being presented. There is potentially talk about, maybe even new management and stuff like that. Now, if that is the case, the feeling that I get from this is it's like you're primed, you're in the right position to kind of say, okay, well, since we're switching everything up and management is going to change, what opportunities are there for me to either move up, change position, or even get promoted? The saying goes, I don't know if you have this elsewhere in the world, but here in the UK, I'm so sorry, my eye has got something in it. We've got this saying here is if you don't ask, you don't get, right? So really, this week, speak up, right? Really do speak up. Now, meditate on what you're going to say. Don't just go in with a give me. One of my friends who I always say was just born to be a mother. She was like, even when we were kids, things just would occur to her that I had that none of us actually really had any thought about. And she was just literally born to be a mum. Anyway. When her kids were misbehaving, she always used to say to them, they say like, I want this, and she's like, I want, don't get. Right, so maybe you don't go in all guns blazing. Maybe you take some time to formulate and then say, look, you know what, there's clearly opportunity here. What do I have to do to access it? For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, there's a shiny carrot here somewhere, right? And I'm not saying don't go for it. I'm not saying that it's not worth it. I'm just saying there is a shiny carrot being presented this week, and that Four of Swords has you. It's not that you're hesitating. You're taking time to think through the offers that are put on the table, and that would be a very good way to go this week. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, it might be that some of you decide to go back to the learning seat this week. But it's probably going to be around something that you feel probably around something that's very physical. So maybe like an old hobby, an old sport, something along those lines, especially something that requires a lot of hand-eye coordination and dexterity. For your love and relations, you've got the Hierophant card. This is actually a great week for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, because there's chances for you and your significant other to really talk it out. There's chances this week for you guys to really kind of go to the table and open up subjects or dialogues or even issues that you've had previously or for a while, and make some real headway with them. So loving that for you. That Hierophant with the Four of Swords, though, this is effectively where you're noticing that there is a sticking point in the relationship, and that Eight of Wands means that you're ready to kind of crack it open, to attack it. For those of you that are single and looking to mingle, it's likely to be either in some kind of spiritual setting or environment. Doesn't have to be a church, but somewhere that would be considered like a church, a synagogue, like a sacred site of some sort, especially because you've got the Fool card here, so it would be an unconventional spiritual space. So it could be like here in the UK we've got lots of stone circles and stuff. It could be something along those lines. So you could be meeting somebody in a very spiritual place, but you could just as easily, because it's the Hierophant card, you could just as easily be meeting somebody at or through your work that you have an instant connection with. You've got the Fool card here, so it's almost like this person's put on your path in sort of some kind of sense of destiny. And if you've been with me long enough, you know I don't usually say that kind of stuff about love relationships, right? So it's very, very interesting. For your money and materials, you have the Wheel of Fortune with the Fool. This is travel, this is fun, this is pleasure, this is enjoyment. The Wheel of Fortune suggests that your money game, your money experience, your financial and material experience is about to come up trumps in a very, very good way. So I'm totally here for that. There are new opportunities to make money, ones that are, they start now, but they are like whatever seeds you are sowing right now, you are going to see very good results from. That much I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt. I wouldn't be surprised as well if you get some kind of invite to travel that either comes through work or maybe even potentially through your significant other. Sorry. Now, when it comes to your, for those of you that say, I actually slept great last night, so it's really not that, I can assure you. Because someone in the comments is always like, you need to get to bed earlier. And I'm like, no, it's really not that. But yeah, the money looks great this week, and it's like whatever you're setting into motion this week financially, the future looks very, very bright. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Wheel of Fortune and the Fool means that you're changing up your routine. So this could be that hobby or, you know, whatever it is that you're doing. It has really good hand-eye coordination. For some of you, this will be a sport. For some of you, this will be a sport or a hobby that you've already done previously, and maybe had really good results with, or were just really good at, but kind of fell off for some reason. And then when it comes to your home and environment, this week will initiate a move. Whether that move happens this week or not is a completely different story, but this week, this will trigger a move. There will be a change of location, certainly between now and the end of the year. All right, so very, very interesting stuff. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.